Text on Path used to be a plugin hack in Figma, but now you can do it natively, and later I will show you how to animate it for a real site. I'm Meng, and like many of you, I wanted a way to make this text on Path move without the heavy lifting. After some research into Figma and Rive, I finally found the most efficient way to build this. Today we are ditching the old plugin. I will show you Figma's native text on Path feature, how to loop it perfectly in Rive, and a secret 5-coded tool that you can skip the messy animation process. So stick around for that one. To follow along, grab this starter file in the description below. It has hero layout ready, so you can focus strictly on building text on Path and animation later. Or start in Figma. To get that organic wave, grab the pencil tool and draw a web path. Make sure it's wider than your frame. Right now, the vector probably looks a bit wanky, with too many anchor points. Let's go into Draw mode and click Simplify Vector. Then adjust the slider until the curve feels smooth. Next, select your middle anchor points and switch the point type to mirror, angle, and length. Adjust the handles until you have a balanced web path. Next, duplicate this line twice and pull one copy aside. This one is for the animation later. Let's take another copy and use the Offset Vector tool. Set to 40 pixels. Remove the stroke and add a fill, and move it behind the original line. This is our ribbon background. Now for the text. Copy the quote here, select the type tool, hover over your original path until you see the path type icon and click to paste. Now grab the circle at the start and move it at the beginning of the path. To make the text align in the middle, let's change the text alignment to center. Then adjust your font properties to your liking. I'm using Gotham 32 pixel and -0.5 spacing. Then keep pasting the quote until it fills the entire length of the path. Group the text and the ribbon together and put it back to our design. This looks great for a static design, but to make it move, we need to head into Rive. Remember the copy that we put it aside in the second step? Let's copy the path as SVG. Then open Rive and hit Create. Don't worry about the upper size yet, just paste your SVG. It will show up in the Asset panel. Drag it onto the canvas. Now let's expand the artboard and leave the start and end of the path sitting outside of the artboard. To make animation work, we need to close this path. So hit Enter until you see the vector points. Use the pen tool to click the endpoint and then a few points outside of the artboard. Then back to the start to close the path. Now change the stroke to 80 pixels and match the color from our Figma file. Back in Figma, copy the quote. In Rive, select the type tool and paste the quote. Now here's the technical part. With the text layer selected, go to the property panel on the right and add a text modifier. Click the plus icon and choose Follow Path. Now click on Target and select your path layer. Next, change the font properties to match what we have in Figma. I'm using Gotham. It's a custom font and you can upload yours in the Asset panel. Set the size to 32 and spacing to -0.5. To fix the vertical alignment, click on the plus icon again and add precision. Then nudge the Y value until the text sits perfectly in the center of your 80 pixel stroke. I think around 11 should do it. Finally, double-click the text and paste the quote twice more so it fills the loop. The alignment still feels a bit off in this area. To fix that, click the settings icon and check this box, Auto Orient Line. This ensures that the position we adjust in Y value follows the curve. Next, let's turn off the canvas fill because we are ready to animate. Switch over to animate mode on the top right. On the timeline here, select your text and find the X position property and set the keyframe at 0. Move the playhead to the end of the timeline before we set the second keyframe. Turn on your rulers. It's under the percentage dropdown if you can't see it. Drag the guide to the start of your first letter. Now drag the X position value until the start of your second quote lines up exactly with that guide. Then click on the time dropdown and change the timeline duration by typing 0.1 in the speed field, so the animation could flow smoothly in the proper speed. Then set the playback to loop. Hit play. If you align the guides correctly, you won't see a jump when the timeline resets. Time to get this on the web. If you are a paid user, you can export this in runtime, which is a small .write file that you can use in most modern web builders, such as Framer and Webflow. If you are not, I got you covered. Click the menu icon here and select Add to Render Queue. Here is the panel. Make sure your artboard and timeline is correct. And here are some important settings for you to export high-quality video with transparent background. Format, select WebM, since H.264 doesn't support transparency, and GIF file is just too large. Bitrate, select Custom and set to 10K to avoid fuzziness on the edges. Size, select Custom and set to 1920 pixel wide for a full HD look. Then click the play icon to start rendering. Once it's done, go to Completed tab and download it. In Framer, it's a simple drag and drop. Go to Insert menu and search for Video Component. Drag it to your frame and select Upload. Then upload the exported WebM file from Rive and set it to autoplay, loop, and muted. Adjust the frame size where the ratio is the same as the artboard in Rive. Then click the lock icon here to lock the ratio. Now you can adjust the size to fit your design. Click play to preview. In Figma Sites, it's even easier. Draw a rectangle where you want the animation, then change the fill to video, and upload the exported WebM file from Rive. Adjust the rectangle size as we do in Framer. Then click this icon to lock the ratio, and adjust the size to fit your design. Then click play to preview the effect. If you want to keep your site lightning fast, WebM might still be a bit too heavy. I've been vibe coding a tool that bypasses the video entirely. Here you can upload your SVG path and the text, configure your font properties, and set up ribbon background. Then choose the colors to match the design. Once you are happy, you can just copy the animated SVG code. It's as tiny as a few KB. Unlike high-quality WebM, it's easy to get over 5 MB, and implementation is also fairly easy. In Framer, we can search for the embed component. At the side panel, select HTML and paste the code. You will have to publish to see the effect. So let's publish the site and check it out. Next, in Figma, you go over the code tool at the toolbar and select Embed. Then paste the code in the side panel. The annoying part of the process is that Figma didn't give you preview in the editor. So you have to use Shift Space to open Preview window to see how your design is positioned currently. Now you can adjust the size and position, then hit refresh to see the result. Using SVG code is by far the most straightforward and efficient way to get animated text on path running in real sites. The tool is currently under development and will be released soon. I put a waitlist link in the description down there and you will be the first to know. Alright, you now have a modern toolkit for text on path animation. Design natively in Figma, animate in Rive, and a custom tool for animated SVG code. Hit like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss future updates. Share this video with your friends who are interested in this topic. And if your brain isn't fried yet, go watch my tutorial on 3D Live Text Shadow. The plugin in that video is one of the coolest plugins I've ever used. I'm Meng. See you there!